Mm. Okay, so what I taught you in our last lesson on how to start a service business was a bit counterculture in the sense that uh what we usually do when we start a business is to start with a service concept in mind. And then we hurry to actually design our service delivery system that we think will please or will satisfy our perceived target market. So we don't deliberately find out the needs of our target market before coming up with a concept that will support that need. No? So we don't do that. And what I thought is that when you have your service concept already, you know that this concept, whatever it is, will support the needs of your target market, the unmet needs. Then that's the time you think about your service package. No, I remember telling you this, no, yung service package. That's where it comes in. And then you continue with your operating strategy, okay, because this will support both your concept and your service package. And then you end with the service delivery system. Okay? That's the time, that's the only time you start thinking of how do I design my service delivery processes to support my strategy, to support my concept, and to support the needs, the unmet needs of the target market. Okay, so that's the last part. And in this particular step of service business development, this is where um the details on how you are going to deliver your service to your customers, the interactions, the moments of truth, the touch points. This is where you design them so that you can actually please and satisfy your customers. So in this particular stage, no, yung stage 4, service delivery system, this is where the tool of service blueprint come in. Okay, I think I mentioned this already to all of you, no? Service blueprinting. So today, uh, instead of discussing lecture number 5, which I saw that almost everyone has already watched and listened to, you can ask questions na lang at the end of this session if you have questions on that particular lecture. But allow me to just give an overview discussion of what service blueprints are all about. I remember telling the class already, service blueprinting. What is a service blueprint? Ano yung counterpart nito? Anyone? What is service blueprint? And what is its counterpart in your production management courses? Value stream map. For a value stream map, you highlight the activities, the detailed activities, and those that are value and non-value, right? You isolate those that are non-value like transport, waiting time, etc. Di ba? Or the ones that are waiting in process. So you highlight that. In service blueprint, you don't do that. At least there's no intentional effort of accounting for how much time is lost because of waiting and transport. What is its counterpart? Anyone, class? Customer journey map. Uh, Customer journey map is another tool by which we can assess the experience of the customer as he or she goes through the service process. Okay, it's another tool that we can use in service management. Okay, but for service blueprint, sige, this is the question. Have you heard of blueprint in your life before? Have you heard of the word blueprint? Yes? Can you just show me reactions, or have you heard of the word blueprint? Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
So, saan nyo usually naririnig yung blueprint?
From mga
Sa
construction sites, sir.
construction,
One by one, please. Architects. Okay, Gwendolyn, correct. Architects. Ano pa? Jeff?
sa construction plan, sir.
Yes, construction plan. O sige, sino pa? During the planning. Yes. Okay. So, during the planning of construction, right? So, it's not after the house or the building has been constructed. Tama ba? It's before, right? It's before. You hear about blueprints, and blueprints, for example, you are about to construct a house. Of course, you don't have the skill to draw what it is in your mind that you want to happen, right? But you just have an idea. You have this concept that you want a three-story house. Okay, you want a three-story house with 4 bedrooms, 3 toilet and bath, and 2 car garage. Okay, this is what you have as a common person. All you have is money. Okay, you have the money to have it built and constructed, but you don't have the ability to actually uh, draw what it will look like. You have an idea, di ba, how you want it to look like, but you let an architect draw it for you. Okay, so whenever you hear about blueprints, these blueprints are actually consumed or used by the architect. They give it to the owner of the house or building, and then what the owner does is he or she reviews this blueprint, right? And this blueprint is done even before the actualization or the construction of the house, because you want to make sure first that all the spacing, the bedrooms, uh, where the kitchen and the restrooms are situated, you want to make sure first that everything is in order, 'di ba? As the owner, 'di ba? You want to know whether what you have in mind, yung concept mo about the dream house that you have, was actually well sketched in that blueprint. Okay? So this blueprint, what does it serve? If you're the owner looking at the blueprint, what what purpose does it serve? What purpose do you think does it serve? Anyone? Anyone who has seen a blueprint and who has made some comments about it?
Sir,
Yes, Jeff.
I think it's so that before anything is done, they can make changes and review the plan at minimal cost.
Yes. Very good. Okay. So, Aaron, in a business perspective, the possible gains and losses of the business. Okay. So, basically, you don't want to build something that you are not entirely sure of. So, for example, you can receive a blueprint and you can say, uh, why does the staircase have 20 steps? Why can't we do it details like that, why can't we do it 16 steps lang? Bakit 20 steps yan? Okay? Sa blueprint, hindi mo pa makikita yung materials that are going to be used eh. You just see the design, di ba? You just see the design of the house. So, you can comment like, okay, bakit 1 meter lang yung hallway doon sa second floor? Why can't we make it 1.2 meters? Because that's ample space for me, 1.2 meters. Bakit yung bedroom side by side? Or bakit magkatapat sila? Bakit hindi sila side by side? Bakit walang CR doon sa isang bedroom? Bakit nasa labas? 'Di ba? Bakit all 3 bedrooms are in the 3rd floor? Bakit wala sa 2nd floor? Okay? So, because the input that you provided to the architect is that you wanted 3 bedrooms, okay? He delivered through that sketch, through that blueprint, 3 bedrooms. Pero nung tinignan mo, gusto mo pala, may bawat floor, may isang bedroom. Yun pala yung gusto mo. Pero hindi mo na-specify yon clearly. Okay? So it's a chance now for you to actually see what the house will look like after it's constructed, okay? And make comments about it, 'di ba? To improve either the aesthetics, no, the physical appearance or the layout, okay, of the house. So, maraming possible points of improvement, 'di ba? Down to the nitty-gritty like the number of steps in the staircase. Why is the room facing south or facing west? Okay? So those who believe in feng shui, okay? So you will have those questions in mind, right? So the same with a service blueprint. So allow me to share my screen. So earlier there was a question where to find this, no? Lecture 5 or 6. This is not found in any of the lectures. That's why I decided to discuss this today, give you an overview so that you can do your assignment, which is going to be due next week, okay, on service blueprinting. And you have a lot of materials in your Canvas files, no? You have sample blueprint, you have PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is not in your Canvas file, but I'll eventually go to that PowerPoint later on. So you have the materials you can self-study, but I just thought of discussing this briefly. So a service blueprint is a process mapping tool. Okay? So you're familiar with process mapping and you've learned this in production management courses. Okay? So again, I asked what is the counterpart of service blueprint in production management? Anyone? If it is a process mapping tool, then what are the usual process mapping tools that you've learned? You can give me acronyms. Ano yung mga natutunan nyo? Usual. Anyone? So I take it to mean that nobody learned anything in production management 1 or 2. I don't know where you took this.
Sir, is it like the mga master production schedule or the materials requirements planning?
No. Process mapping?
Like for the master production schedule, sir, because it maps the process of like the production schedule.
Like materials requirements planning?
No, sir, the master
MRP?
production schedule, sir.
Yeah, that's an input to your materials requirements planning. But that's not a process mapping tool. What process mapping tool do you use? Last,
Hello, sir.
nag-capstone na kayo. Yes?
How about ano, sir? Yung FPC.
Yun. FPC, ano pa?
Multi-activity process.
Oh, MAC. MAC, ano pa? Oh, ano pang mga PC? Maraming PC eh. May FPC. Ano pang mga PC natutunan nyo? PC stands for process chart. O ano pang mga PC?
Swim lanes.
Ha?
Swim lane.
I can't hear. I can't hear clearly. Ano pa? Oh, yun lang natutunan nyo? FPC tsaka MAC? Multiple Activity Chart? Ano pa?
Sir, how about left hand, right hand chart?
Yeah, LH, RH chart. O, ano pa? O, kuha na ng notes.
Sir, counted po ba yung SIPOC diagram?
Yes, it's a process mapping tool. It's high level. SIPOC. What you
Hello,
use
sir.
in
What about Terblik, sir?
Terblig? Terblig is yan ba yung sa hand?
Yes po,
Motion?
sir.
Motion economy? It's not a process mapping tool. It's a process improvement tool. Okay? Ano pa?
Sir, swim lane po.
Swim lane diagrams, di ba? You have OPC, you have APC, assembly process chart, you have operations process chart. Ang dami, di ba? Ang daming charting tools na tinuro sa inyo sa production management. And kahit iba-iba yung tawag sa mga charting tools na yan, ang main purpose nila is to map out the process, to expose the details of the process. Kaya nga may left hand, right hand chart ka eh. Very low level yan. Okay, so when I say high level, general description of the process, SIPOC. Parang general steps lang yung makikita mo. Pero when you go down to the low level, like a swim lane diagram that you use for your capstone design project, okay, the details of every step on how it is packaged, on how it is produced, the details are all there. Down to the left-hand, right-hand chart, ito, sobrang detalye na to, sobrang low level na to kasi every action or motion of your left and right hand is being charted, is being mapped. Okay, and that's why it's called a process mapping tool. Kasi you're mapping or charting the details of the activities that take place in a process. Okay, so since service blueprints are considered process mapping tools, then it accomplishes the same objective. It visually displays the service by simultaneously depicting, okay, the process of service delivery. So in manufacturing, the charting tools focus on the process. But for services, okay, for services, you have an extra. And that's why we created a different mapping tool called Service Blueprint. Okay, kasi sa Service Blueprint, hindi lang process yung binamap mo. Minamap din natin yung roles and responsibilities or actions ng mga customers at ng employees as they perform the process. Okay? And this is crucial. Okay? This part, okay, is crucial because as we've said and as we've defined services, it is the interaction that takes place between customers and service providers that is considered very important in services. What we call the touch points and what we call the moments of truth. Okay? Doon kasi maa-assess yung quality of the service sa touch point at sa moments of truth. Okay? And that's why if we do flow charting lang, okay, then that would not be enough in terms of exposing the details as to what the customer actions are and the employee actions are. Okay? Hindi natin ngayon mapapakita yung details ng interaction, which is very important in services. So yan yung highlight. Ito ngayon yung highlight ng service blueprint. Okay? It also displays each sub-process or step in the service system, tapos nililink yan sa steps in the sequence as they appear. Nililink natin yan sa mga backstage, what we call backstage systems that support the actions of the front stage personnel. Okay, all of these are linked together to come up with a service blueprint. And again, as I've told you earlier, this is nothing but a flow charting tool. Ang dagdag lang talaga, kasi even the flow process chart or the swim lane diagram will show you the sub-processes. Okay? Makikita mo lahat ng mga steps sa system, no? If you do the swim lane diagram. Pero ito lang talaga yung unique. Okay? Yung role ng customers, yung action ng customers at employees, makikita dapat natin doon sa service blueprint. Okay? So that's the main difference. So again, as I've said, why do we have to do a service blueprint? Remember, ang sabi ko kanina, we do this sa design stage most of the time. Doon sa service delivery, design ng service delivery system natin, yung stage 4. Okay? We do this sa design. We also do service blueprinting for the purpose of process improvement. Okay? So, we can do it in 2 different stages. Sa design stage, just like yung architectural blueprints ninyo, where you can have the opportunity to review, okay, the details of your of the house that you're going to construct and make changes before construction takes place. So, ganun din ang service blueprint. Di-design mo yung delivery system mo with the customer's perspective in mind. Okay, you will design it. You will lay down the flow of the process from the customer's perspective until ma-deliver mo yung service mo. And then, your managers will review it, will review the service blueprint together with customers, together with your target market. Is this how you want it to be? Okay, so may interaction pa rin even doon sa design stage. How do you want this process to flow? How do you want this process to deliver the final output to you? How do you want the employees to engage you in this service? So these are the questions that you normally ask, okay, and review in the service blueprint. If there are failure points that you see in the design, then it's a chance for you, an opportunity for you to improve it to the liking of your customer. Okay, not to your liking, ha? In the design phase, not to your liking, but to the liking of your customer. How does the customer want the service to be delivered by the employee? And how does the customer want to receive the output of that service? How does the customer want the flow and the sequence of the steps to be? Okay, so you ask those questions, you improve it, and then you show it to the customer again. And if there's a mutual agreement already, then you deploy, you implement. Okay, and that minimizes the error in the design, in the initial design. Okay, but as the saying goes, no one's perfect. There is no perfect process. So even if you have reviewed it already in the design stage and you have a mutual agreement and understanding with your customer, okay, but that's just a few customers that you have an understanding with. When you carry out the process, actual na to, implementation na to, nag-start na yung business delivery, service delivery mo, okay, you can't help but commit failures, errors, because humans are the ones interacting and serving the customers. Magkakaroon ka ng errors dyan and failures. So now, these failures will open up opportunities for you to improve your process and to revisit your service blueprint. Okay? So, service blueprinting can be done all over again during the implementation phase. Okay? Habang dinideliver mo na yung service, pwede mong gawin to ulit for the purpose now of process improvement. Okay? I hope that's clear now why this tool is very important in service design and delivery. Okay? So, dyan talaga ginagamit yan. Okay, so let me stop here. Any questions so far, class? Simple lang naman yung concept ng service blueprint eh. So, I'll move to the mechanics no, on how you actually create a service blueprint. Walang question? Sige, punta tayo dito. Ito yung i-share ko ngayon. This is what you have in your Canvas files. Okay, this is what you have in your Canvas files. Okay, very important, no? Kasi since this is something new, your IT counterparts and your IE counterparts wouldn't know this. So this is something unique to you. You need to know who started it all, no? So this is the name that you have to remember. Okay. Later on, you will see how the service blueprint is actually created. It has gone through several stages of enhancements already. In other words, may evolution na yon, no? When Showstack started this, it is not the way it looks right now. Okay, so there are several academicians, practitioners who actually added on to what Showstack started in 1984. Okay, so like Citamel, Bittner added certain lines, no, to the service blueprint to comprehensively cover for all aspects of service delivery. Okay, so there are other academicians and practitioners, Lovelock, Patterson, Walker, who added on in Gremler, who added on to this service blueprint as you will see it today. Okay, but the pioneer of this is Lynn Shostak. Right? So just some information that you needed to know. Okay, so I clear. Okay. So as I've said, why should you use a service blueprint? If you want to improve your service offering, this is actually the first, no? If you want to design a new service that mixes digital and non-digital touch points, okay? So this is used primarily for design and for improvement, okay? And there are other uses, no? Like if as a manager managing a service for 10 years, you have already lost track how the service gets produced, then you go back and revisit and do a blueprint. 'Di ba? Para maalala mo, ito yung step by step na ginagawa to deliver the output of the service. Okay, and again, if you are designing a service or a product that is involved in producing other services, again, you focus on design. Okay, so these are the reasons why you do a blueprint. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so ito yung anatomy of a service blueprint. This is what you're going to do for your parang homework, no? Group work. Okay, so here on top, hindi na nakasulat dito. I don't know why, no? But you should see physical evidences here. I don't know if it's legible, no? But physical evidence. Okay, physical evidences. So you will see here, there are lines. Okay. There are lines here, no? So in drawing a service blueprint, it is different from a flow chart, no? That you know of in production. Kasi in production or in manufacturing, the flow chart focuses on the process of making the product or process of managing an inventory. It focuses on the process. Whereas a service blueprint focuses both on the process and on the journey. When I say journey, experience. Okay? So again, service blueprint focuses both on the process. Kaya you will see this, no? You will see like a process flow with boxes, di ba? May arrows, di ba? The arrows symbolize flow. Okay? Flow of the process. And then later I'll explain single-headed and double-headed arrows, no, what they mean, no? But they denote flow, just like in a flow process chart. But the experience is also captured here. Okay, it's captured here in the physical evidences. Okay, and it's captured here in the customer actions and front stage actions, which symbolize the interaction between customer and service provider. So as a customer, since you have customer actions here, as a customer goes through the process, so pwedeng may ganyan pa yan. Okay, every step, every action that the customer performs until the time the customer receives the output is actually mapped in a service blueprint. Okay, so we go beyond the flow to also map the experiences and the journey of the customer as he or she performs the first step up to the last step before receiving the service output. Okay, so focus tayo, physical evidences. When you go to a service establishment, definitely there is something that you want to accomplish. Right? There's something that you want to accomplish. But for example, if you go to a restaurant, you want to get filled. Gutom ka, gusto mong makakain ng masarap, yung iba kahit na hindi masarap, okay lang, basta mabusog. Di ba? That's why you go to a restaurant. But in the process would be simple, di ba? If you think about a process flow, what are the basic? Typok tayo. Typok ng isang customer na pupunta sa isang restaurant. Ano yung basic steps doon sa process? Anyone? Just tell me the basic steps. Pagpunta mo ng restaurant, ano yung dapat magawa para ma-achieve mo yung purpose mo for going to the restaurant? Anyone? Yes,
The-
Aaron? Can't hear. Hindi ka audible.
Either fall in line po or get a table muna.
Wala eh. I can't understand. Sige. Someone else. What do you do? What do you do? Para ma-achieve mo yung purpose mo, pagpasok mo sa restaurant, what do you do?
Check the menu.
Okay, you check the menu. Okay, after checking the menu, what do you do? Basic
Order.
steps. Order. Who's talking?
Ano, sir?
Hannah. Okay, check the menu, order. After order, ano? After order. After
Find the
order.
table, sir.
Ano na?
Find
After
the table,
order.
sir.
Nag-order ka na eh.
Find the table, sir.
Details na yan eh. Details na yan. Okay? Typok lang tayo. Typok. General steps of getting it done in a restaurant. Check the menu, order, and then what?
Wait for your food to be served.
Okay? Wait for your food to be served or get your food. And then after that, what's the next step? What's the next action that you take?
Get the bill.
Eat muna.
Eat.
Eat muna, di ba? Eat
Yes.
muna, okay, and then pay, di ba? So when we talk about Typok, di ba, sabi ko 3 to 5 steps lang yan, di ba? O check the menu, order your food. Pwede mo na nga i-skip yung get your food or receive your food eh. Okay, order your food, then after you order, you eat na, and then after you eat, then you pay. Then you go out, di ba? Yan yung general process flow, di ba? But we're not just concerned about the process flow in the service blueprint. Okay? Sa service blueprint, we're also concerned about the experience. Kaya, sinasama natin itong physical evidences. Kasi it contributes to the experience. Di ba? So, pagpasok mo, okay, let's say, pagpasok mo sa restaurant, let's say it's a fine dining restaurant or a restaurant that's standalone, no? May sarili siyang brick and mortar shop, no? May restaurant shop ka. Okay? So, the first thing that a customer does is to, let's say may kotse ka, is to park your vehicle. Example lang to ha, to park your vehicle. Okay? So, in doing that, kasi journey, di ba? Yung buong experience mo sa pagpunta sa restaurant hanggang sa makaalis ka counted yon 'di ba? Remember sa mga vlogs, 'di ba? Parang the comments would range from, ay grabe, ang hirap hanapin ng parking ng restaurant, or sobrang hirap makapark sa restaurant. It would range from parking at the establishment, or even looking at looking for the location of the restaurant, no? Ang hirap hanapin, kahit sa Waze hindi namin makita, or Google Maps, we cannot find it. So sabi sa Waze, you have already reached your destination, pero we look left, right, front, ahead of us, back, hindi namin makita yung restaurant. So pala, yung signage napakaliit. Okay? So physical evidence yung signage of the restaurant. That's a physical evidence. And it's part of the journey of the customer, no, in dining in that restaurant. So sa flowchart, hindi mo na isasama 'yon eh. Sa production management flowchart, hindi mo isasama 'yon. Pero sa service blueprint, kasama 'yon, no? Even the signages of the restaurant, is it clear and visible enough for the customers to see? Okay? Yung from the parking, no, yung way going to the elevator, for example, and this is a common problem when I go to hotels, diba? Pag nag-parking ka sa basement, you do not know exactly where to park kasi there are very minimal signs that tell you that elevator, the lift going to the hotel directly, is situated in a particular location. So hindi mo alam kung yung parking space mo malayo doon sa lift or malapit doon sa lift. This also happens sa mall, 'di ba? Sa experience mo sa mall, lalo na pag first timer ka doon, you really do not know whether you're parked in the right place or not, near the elevator, lift, or escalator that takes you to the mall, 'di ba? So that's part of the experience that you actually map in your service blueprint by paano mo express yung experience na yon through the physical evidences. Kasi the physical evidences can also be improved. Di ba? Agree ba kayo, class, that kapag nakita natin sa customer experience na hindi nila makita yung signage kasi perhaps because of the color combination of the light, and perhaps because of the size of the font, di ba? Or perhaps because of the location where the signage is situated, hindi siya mabilis makita, di ba? Can this be improved, class? Pwede ba nating i-improve ito as a service establishment? What do you think, class? Pwede ba nating i-improve yan?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And, okay, if you say yes, makikita natin sa map yon, di ba? Na mayroon kang signage dito. So actually, hindi mo na makikita yung description ng signage. Makikita mo lang that there is a signage. Okay? As a physical evidence, no? There's a signage that leads to the mall, the hotel, that leads to the restaurant, okay, entrance. Minsan, yung entrance exit pa lang, hindi mo na makita kung saan ka papasok. Di ba? Ang daming pinto. Hindi mo alam kung saan ka papasok. So, nakalagay lang naman dito signage. Pero, it's something that you can actually get details about. Okay? Either by observation or from your customers. No? Ano yung difficulty through vlogs, di ba? Kung ano yung difficulty nila in accessing your restaurant or your establishment. So from there, at least you have some evidence, physical evidence to take note of na pwede mong i-improve ito before you actually deploy or implement your service delivery. Para hindi mahirapan yung mga customers. Di ba? Okay. So another is pagpasok mo, let's say nakita mo na yung kung saan ka papasok. Pagpasok mo, physical evidence din, a physical evidence is a waiting line, di ba? This is something that we usually see in service establishment, a queue. So that's a physical evidence as well. So therefore, ililinya nyo lang, no? Signage, nakalinya sa customer action, di ba? It's either park the vehicle, okay, hindi ko na isusulat, hirap magsulat eh. Kunyari, dito, ilalagay nyo, park the vehicle or enters the restaurant. Okay? Signage, kailangan mo yan to park and to enter. 'di ba? And then, pagpasok mo, ang next customer action mo is to fall in line or to wait, 'di ba? So, wait na lang ha, yung shortcut, wait. Okay? So, to fall in line or to wait. And then, ang physical evidence ng waiting mo is either a queue or alam niyo yung mga electronic boards with queue numbers, 'di ba? Yung nakikita niyo sa bangko. Now serving number 5. Now serving number 6. Okay? So, pwedeng yun yung physical evidence mo, yung electronic board. Right? Or pwedeng sa airport, makikita mo yung board na makikita mo kung anong oras pa yung boarding in a particular gate number. That is a physical evidence as well. 'Di ba? Or you can be more detailed to say that there are evidence mo is there are 5 different lines doon sa queue mo. Okay? You saw 5 different lines and your action is to wait in one of the lines. 'Di ba? So let's say mayroon kang priority lane for the senior citizens and then may 4 other lines ka or may priority lane ka and may one lane ka. Or one lane lang for all, whether senior or all. 'Di ba? So these are evidences that you need to put here. Okay? So this is how it looks like. No? You have number 1, physical evidence. Number 2, you map the customer actions. Ito yung kakaiba sa service blueprint. Kasi whatever the customer is doing from the time that the customer reaches your location, the location of your service facility, up to the time na makalabas siya, minamap mo yan horizontally. Okay, horizontally. Okay, so the customer actions are mapped from left to right until the end of the process. Okay, so I'll clear. So they're mapped from left to right until you reach the end of the process. Now, vertically naman are the interactions between the customers and your on-stage service provider. Maraming pangalan dito, no? On-stage, front stage, front line, okay, action. Okay, so basically this is employee action. Employee action to. So there is now an exchange, a value exchange between customer and service provider as depicted by this vertical arrow. Okay? So, the arrow depicts 2 things. Listen na class, kasi when you do your service blueprint, you need to be able to understand how to use these arrows. The arrows depict 2 things. One is flow. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kapag nakita nyo pababa, no? Pababa. May interaction between these 2 boxes. There is a value exchange. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Whenever you cross a line, whatever line, okay? So, ito line yan. You cross this line, okay? Using an arrow. You cross this line, okay? Using an arrow. Okay? You cross this line using an arrow pataas naman. It simply tells you, crossing a line simply tells you that there is a value exchange or an exchange of value in that service process. Okay? May nata-transfer either value or information or product, okay, from a source to a destination. So, ano ngayon? So, alam na natin may value exchange. Ano ngayon yung purpose ng arrowhead? Okay? So, if the arrowhead is like this, okay, ibig sabihin, there is a value exchange and the source of that value, okay, is from the source of the arrow. Papunta doon sa arrowhead. Okay? So, value exchange and the initiator or the source of that value exchange. Okay, yun yung arrow. So, kunyari, pag ganito. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung product or yung information or yung service or yung value nanggaling sa person na ito or sa system na ito papunta sa person na ito or sa system na ito. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng direction ng arrow. Now, Ano ngayon ang ibig sabihin ng double-sided arrow? Okay, double-sided arrow simply tells us that there is a value exchange kasi nag-cross siya, di ba? There's a value exchange, but the process cannot move forward, okay, in this manner or in this manner without the mutual agreement and understanding between these two entities in the value exchange. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan may mutual agreement, mutual understanding yung dalawang entities na ito, okay, as far as the value exchange is concerned, before the process can move forward to the next step here or to the next step here. Okay? So, mabilis yung single-headed arrow. Di ba? So, for example, pumunta yung customer sa restaurant. Physical evidence could be, pagpasok niya, could be yung sinabi ko kanina, yung pila, nakita niya. And there could be a physical evidence na makikita niya if for fast food, di ba? Makikita niya yung menu board. Di ba? That's a physical evidence. Doon na siya pumipili habang nakapila siya. Alright? So, pagdating niya sa harap ng line, okay? So, ang next step na after queuing, okay, or waiting, after queuing, ang next step niya dito could be ordering. Di ba? So, yung next step mo is you order. And ito yung ano mo, sorry, this one has to be here on top of ordering kasi yan yung physical evidence mo to order. Okay, so menu board is your physical evidence. So mag-order ka na. Siyempre, pag nag-order ka, and then, pag nag-order ka, hindi ka naman pwede mag-order mag-isa. Tama? You cannot order by yourself. You need some action from your front stage or employee service provider, front stage employee. So, ang tanong, is the arrow, sandali i-clear ko lang to. Sorry. Mag-order ka. Let's say, ito yung order. Okay, mag-order ka. Hindi ka naman pwede mag-order at magsalita mag-isa, di ba? Somebody has to serve you. Somebody has to take your order, right? So, it's either take your order, mga waiters, or punch in the order sa mga fast food, di ba? So, somebody has to take the order. Okay. So, ang question, is this, there's a value exchange definitely kasi may sinasabi ka doon sa nagte-take ng order at meron siyang sinusulat or pinapunch in. So there's a value exchange. Now, question, is this a single-headed arrow? Pababa, pataas, or is it a double-headed arrow? Class? Oh, yung mga ano hindi na kayo naka-camera. Nakikita ko kayo. Single-headed or double-headed? So, number one, it crossed a line. So, there's a value exchange. Next, we have to determine. Okay? Ano yung kailangan natin i-determine? Kanino nanggagaling yung value ng exchange na yon? Source. Okay? Sa isang tao lang ba and then we can proceed? Or, yung transaction na yon, no? Yung interaction na yon. Isang tao lang ba ang main source ng value exchange na yon? Or, kailangan ba may mutual agreement sila before you can go to the next step? Okay. So, prepare order. Let's say, yung front stage din, fast food, di ba? Prepare order. Or assemble mo yung order, di ba? What do you think? for this step to happen, kailangan ba may mutual agreement dito? Kung ano yung final order?
Yes, sir.
Di ba? Pwede ka ba mag-proceed? Nakikita nyo ba yung front stage employee sa fast food na habang nagtitake ng order, piniprepare na rin niya? O ini-ensure na muna niya na tapos na lahat, mababayaran, kung fast food yan, kailangan may payment pa pala bago niya i-prepare yung order. Di ba? Or minsan, they prepare the order and then pag nandiyan na sa harap mo, then you pay. Depends on your design, di ba? Kaya importante yung blueprint, di ba? Ano ba nauuna? Payment muna bago preparing the order? Or preparing the order first before payment? Okay? So that's important, no? That's crucial. Okay? So you take the order. So sabi natin, there has to be a mutual agreement between the order that is being placed and the order that's being taken. Kaya nga inuulit sa iyo ng service provider eh. So this is the final order or may evidence ka ulit. Meron kang, 'di ba, in some establishments yung computer system nila, may monitor yan that allows you to see, itemize, 'di ba? Kung ano yung pinunch in netong front stage employee, anong naka-punch in doon sa system at nare-review mo 'yon, 'di ba, as a customer. So, pwede mo isama sa step 'yon na nag-order ka and then review your order through the screen. May evidence ka ngayon dito, may computer screen ka where you can see your orders. Kaya meron kang step dito na you review your order based on the screen. 'Di ba? So lahat ng na-observe ninyo na details doon sa service delivery system na pinupuntahan ninyo, pwede nyong ilagay dito. Basta't evidence is something that will permit you to perform the customer action. 'Di ba? So, nare-review mo. So again, that is a different service delivery design na meron kang screen na pang-review. Yung mga iba wala eh. So iba yung service delivery design nila. So automatically, you now say that this is a double-sided arrow. 'Di ba? Kasi kailangan may mutual agreement doon sa value exchange na yon before the next step can happen. 'Di ba? Preparing the order. So as you can see, taking orders and preparing orders are both front stage employee actions. Ginagawa yan nung kaharap mo, ka-interact mo na employee. Okay, whereas ordering and reviewing perhaps, queuing, so dito may waiting ka sa start. Okay, meron kang corresponding evidence of waiting. Nag-order ka, meron kang evidence dito na menu. Di ba? Ito, may queue ka na nakita. Kung single line, double line, pwede mo isulat. Tapos dito, meron kang nakitang screen. Okay, computer screen where you can review. Okay. So, ang gagawin mo lang talaga is i-document mo lahat ng mga steps na ginagawa ni customer step by step. Di ba? So, tapos, naka-arrow ka, yung flow mo, papaganyan. Okay. So, may value exchange ka dito, prepare yung order. Again, sabi ko nga kanina, you can prepare the order first and then meron kang billing dito. Okay, bill, di ba? And then dito pwedeng after reviewing, okay, ang next step mo, usually dito hindi na dinalagyan ng arrow, understood na yan from left to right, no? So dito pay. Okay? And then, syempre, yung bill tsaka pay, dapat, again, mayroon kang mutual understanding dyan. Okay? So, you can give the bill and then the customer has to pay. Di ba? So, ngayon, you see here that there are a series of customer actions and a series of employee front stage actions. Pero, take note, that your service blueprint is divided into 1, 2, and 3 lines. Okay? Focus on the line. Okay? Focus on the line. the first line is the line of interaction, and that's very clear because this line separates the customer from the employee. Okay? This line separates the customer from the employee, and the crossing of this line represents the interaction. Kaya we call it the line of interaction. Okay, that's the first line, right? The second line is the line of visibility. Ibig sabihin, kapag customer ka at naririto ka, okay, nakikita mo lahat ng mga nangyayari dito, hanggang dito lang. Kaya, ito yung line of visibility. Hanggang dyan lang nakikita mo. So, kunyari, nagpre-prepare siya ng order, nakikita mo lang yung mga burgers, yung mga fries na nadya dyan, na naluto na pinaprepare ni front stage front stage employee. Okay? So let's say that the kitchen is at the back. Okay? Hindi na nakikita ng customer kung anong nangyayari sa likod, yung where the cooking and the washing of the dishes take place. Take note dito sa front stage, sa front stage where interaction takes place. Okay? Naririto na yung mga ketchup, yung mga utensils, plastic spoon and fork. Let's say kung merong yung mga metal spoons and forks, naririto rin sa front stage yan. Nakikita rin ng customer yan. Okay? Pwedeng in the environment around. Nakikita ni customer yan. Okay? So they're still part of the line of visibility. Okay? Pero, di ba pag tapos na tayo kumain, clean as you go or merong waiter na kukuha ng food natin, tatapon yung leftover food, yung utensils, plate na kailangan hugasan, dinadala nila sa likod yon. Hindi naman natin nakikita saan nila hinuhugasan yun, di ba? Okay? So, yun yung mga tinatawag nating backstage. Sa backstage, the place where we are unable to see what's going on. This is where some actions happen. Okay? Like in a restaurant, anong nangyayari sa backstage? Dito nangyayari yung cooking. Okay? Dito nangyayari yung ingredient preparation. Okay? Ingredient preparation. I just hope that you understand the elements, kasi after this you are in a position na to actually create your own service blueprint. So ingredient prep, then cooking, lahat ng washing dito nangyayari, di ba? Washing of dishes. Tapos dito na rin yung food preparation. Diba? Yung food preparation. Pagka restaurant talaga. No? Pero kapag fast food, yung backstage mo, actions ng employees, hanggang lang, cooking of the fries, burgers, tapos may packaging. Okay? So may packaging. So dinalagay sa wrapper, yung rice dinalagay sa wrapper, and so on. Tapos tinatapon nila yan doon sa bin na nagsa-slide. Kung nakikita nyo, di ba, may sila, bin na parang naka-incline, nagsa-slide na lang yung mga burgers doon, where the food preparing of the order takes place ng front stage action. Kaya you will see here that all of these backstage actions are actually supporting the front stage delivery. Okay? Siyempre, kailangan ng plates ng customer, kailangan ng utensils. Backstage ang gagawa nun to make it visible, yung mga clean utensils visible to the customers. Yung pag-cook and pag-package ng burger and fries, lalagay nila sa appropriate na size ng lalagyan, ginagawa na yan backstage. Tapos, pwedeng ready na yan, kukunin na lang nung nagpre-prepare ng order, i-assemble na lang niya yun. Okay? So, dito nangyayari, kaya meron kang support na nangyayari to prepare the order. Okay? So, single arrow yon kasi yung washing, yung cooking, yung packaging, lahat yan, yung value of that service is initiated by the backstage personnel. Kaya, ito yung source ng value. Binibigay mo na ngayon yung cooked food, packaged food, at yung clean utensils to enable the front stage employee to prepare the order. Kaya, one-sided arrow lang yon kasi yung value comes from the backstage process. Okay? So, I hope that that is clear. And then, of course, the third line, itong line na to, represents the line of internal interaction. Okay? So, sa number 2, beyond number 2, hindi na nakikita ng customer. Okay? Beyond line number 3, there are processes na, okay? Usually, these are mostly computer processes, internal computer processes or applications or programs that will support carrying out the backstage action. Let me give you an example. Let's say, meron kang, okay, arrow papasok dito. You need data for the computer to process. Okay? So, for example, nag-take ka ng order. Pwedeng yung tinetake mong order, papasok yan, okay, all the way from front stage to support process, to a computer system that consolidates the order and computes the billing. Pwedeng ganon, di ba? Once you take the order, it will enable your program. So, i-clear ko ulit. Once you take the order here, okay, you go straight here, it will enable the program here, the computer app or the program to compute. Ano ba yung lahat ng food orders mo at magkano ba yung bill? Diba? So, yun ang ibig sabihin nun. So, now, these are programs and applications. So, dito, for example, what to cook. Diba? Sabi natin dito kanina, cook, what to cook. Diba? So, once you take the order, it goes into a computer system, pasok siya dito, and pwedeng, tanggalin ko to ha, I'll remove this, pwedeng pasok siya dito para makita niya yung sequence ng orders as they come in. Sequence of the customers. So, nakalagay dito sa screen niya, let's say, customer number 1, ito yung order. Ito yung order. Customer number 2, ito yung mga orders niya. Customer number 3 in sequence. So, therefore, it enables the backstage personnel to cook and to prepare the materials and to cook according to the sequence na nakikita niya na nanggagaling dito sa system na to. It's a computer system that provides the output information to the kitchen. Okay? So this one naman, the taking of the order provides the input information for the system to collate and to provide as an output information to the kitchen. Okay? So, may mga ganyan. And then later on, di ba, pagdating sa front stage action, meron kang tinatawag na billing, di ba? May billing ka. Ibibill mo na ngayon si customer. Okay? So, paano lalabas yung bill? Manggagaling din yan, let's say, sa isa pang application, na nado naman lahat ng sales and lahat ng sales nado doon for the day. So, this will now provide the information, one-sided arrow kasi the value comes from here eh. Okay? Yung computation comes from here, provided to the front stage personnel terminal for the billing to be provided to the customer. So, this support processes here, after the line of internal interaction, actually supports both backstage and both front stage actions to perform and deliver the service to the customer. Okay? So kung sa Lasal pa, magugulat na lang kayo, di ba? O bakit may mga subjects na pwede kayong i-enlist? Di ba? Hindi nyo naman nakikita yung process of preparation of the subject next term that you can enlist. Di ba? But somehow, pagdating ng enlisting dates, may mga choices of subjects na kayo. Di ba? To choose from. So lahat yan nanggagaling from support processes and backstage actions. Diba? Yung service na yon. Kasi otherwise, kapag kayo yung mamimili ng lahat ng subjects na pwede nyo i-enlist, ang daming failures mangyayari kasi you will enlist in a subject na hindi naman pala i-offer next term. 'di ba? So, ang daming nangyayari backstage and using computer systems and applications to bring forward yung mga pwedeng ibigay ng front stage employee at pwede nyong gawin as customers. Okay? So even in your online enrollment, no, when you choose a section, kung sinong professor ang gusto ninyo, ilang sections ba yung open, ilang students sa isang class, anong subject, lahat ng information na yon comes from support processes dito sa dulo. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na registration, enrollment systems that will fill up the slots and tell you na wala ng slot dito sa section na to. Pero yung inner workings of all of those things, hindi nyo nakikita. Di ba? They all come from the support processes working behind what you see. Okay? Kaya importante sa isang buong service process, you ask the question, paano nangyari ito na na-compute agad yung bill? Paano nangyari na nasaraduhan ako ng klase na to? Saan nanggagaling yung information na yon? You have to ask those questions para malaman mo yung that there are support processes happening here beyond the line of internal interaction that supports and that provides those value information. Okay? So, important sa anatomy ng service blueprint are the 3 lines. Line of interaction, line of visibility, ibig sabihin hanggang dyan lang si customer nakakita. And usually ang backstage mo mas magulo. Hindi organized yung processes kasi the customers don't see that na eh. Di ba? But pag disorganized yung backstage processes mo, it will reflect sa front stage mo. Malilito rin yung front stage mo in terms of the information it's getting. Kaya it will eventually reflect on customer satisfaction. Okay? So, again, line of visibility, line of internal interactions. And it's very important to focus on those 3 lines, no, na you have to map the customer action, the employee front stage action, the employee backstage action, and what the support processes are to make all of these possible. Okay? So, yan yung kagandahan. Of course, I keep emphasizing about physical evidence, which is very important in a service business kasi it's part of the customer experience and it's part of the customer journey. Okay? Any questions, class? Questions? It's 2 o'clock. Questions? Okay, so I have discussed this, the components of blueprint. So tandaan nyo palagi start with physical evidence, then what are the customer actions, okay, on stage, employee actions, backstage, and then the support processes. Okay, and the 3 lines, okay, and then the arrows, diba? So single arrow means the source of that value exchange, okay, comes from that source of the arrow. Okay, hindi yung arrowhead but the source. So ibig sabihin, yung source yung in control doon sa value exchange. For double arrow, an agreement must be reached between the 2 entities, no, to move the process forward. Another example of double arrow, if you see a doctor, you provide information about your symptoms. The doctor will ask you questions. There's an exchange, di ba? But before the doctor can proceed to making a prescription, there has to be an agreement first between the 2 of you about the symptoms. Kaya ka tinatanong ng maigi kung ito ba yung nararamdaman mo and so on. So that's a double arrow exchange, di ba? Yung interaction mo between the doctor. So, and important din ito, no? Kasi this is what you're gonna do. So after knowing the elements of service blueprint, yung anatomy niya, then you need to know the steps to build a service blueprint. And critical here, na laging nami-miss out, would be this. Okay? So, syempre, you identify the process. Let's say, process of enrolling. Diba? Process of enrolling. Let's say, Lasal ako, no? I'm the registrar, for example, in charge of enrollment. So I want to map the process of enrollment. So okay ito. This is easy. Identify the process to be blueprinted. Okay? Whether in the design or the improvement phase, that's easy. Ito yung laging nami-miss out. When you map your service process and when you do your service blueprint, you need to identify sino ba yung customer segment mo. Okay? Yung target customer mo for this particular process. And therefore, once you know who your target customer is, pwede mo ngayong kausapin yung target segment mo and map it from the customer's point of view. Okay? So, when a customer sees a signage na maliliit yung font, okay? Ano yung mararamdaman ng customer? Ano yung magiging action niya? Mawawala ba siya? So, kailangan imamap mo siya not as it is, but how the customer will look at it. Okay? So, if you have, if your facade has three doors, okay? Malilito ba si customer? How will the customer perceive? Ano yung magiging action ng customer based on the perception na tatlo yung doors doon? Diba? If you have a menu board na maliliit din yung font, ang daming nakasulat na items doon sa menu, ano yung magiging customer action? Diba? Tatagal ba siya? Hahaba ba yung pila? Okay, ano yung magiging effect ng customer action mo? So in other words, you always have to map the process from the customer's point of view. Okay, so if you're able to do this, the rest would be just as mapping your ordinary process chart. Kasi this takes care of the journey. Okay? This too. Actually, kapag mayroong kang physical evidence, di ba? Plus taking it from the customer's perspective, that would take care of the journey or the experience. Diba? And then the rest would just be about the process. Map the contact employee actions. Of course, this is something new. Contact employee actions and on-stage and backstage. And ililink mo siya sa customer actions. So 4 and 5, okay, you can map this separately. Ano yung mga customer actions, then ano yung mga front stage and backstage actions, and then you put the arrows, no, single-sided or double-sided arrows to link the customer actions to the employee actions. Okay? And to link the backstage and the front stage. As I said, the backstage supports the front stage. So you have to link them. Ganon din yung support processes, di ba? Kailangan malink mo sila either sa backstage or sa front stage kasi the support processes support both backstage and front stage. So, dito sa 4 and 5, ito na yung mga steps, detailed steps that happen both from the customer side and from the front and backstage employee side. And the linking of these steps. Okay? And then, of course, last is adding evidence of service. Ito na yung mga physical evidences for every customer action. Remember, our actions are guided by some evidence. Diba? So, pag may nakita tayo, then we perform a specific action. We make a specific decision. That's part of the journey. Okay? That's part of the journey. Okay? So, if you're able to follow these steps, then you would have a good picture or map of your service delivery system or process. Okay? Which will become a basis for you to judge whether is this already good for my customer or not. Do I need to improve this further? Okay? So, are you clear? Let's go back. Okay, sige. Okay, so you can go through the examples in your PowerPoint, no? On this is not so detailed yet. Again, you are limited by space, so you can use your flow charting techniques, no? You can use connectors. Alam niyo yung connectors, di ba? So kunyari, kulang ka na sa space. You can divide yung process mo. Let's say, ito ano ba to? Overnight hotel stay. So pwedeng i-divide mo yung process mo hanggang dito muna, i-cut mo hanggang dito muna. Okay? this is one page. Okay? Kapag sobrang haba nito, no, to the point na hindi nakasya sa isang page, pwede mo i-cut. And then ito, pwede mong itong take bags to room, yung next page mo mag-uumpisa ka ulit dito, no? Lahat 'yan ilalagay mo and then mag-uumpisa ka na dito. Okay, sa next page. Kaso may connection siya sa previous page. So you can terminate it here with a connector, no? So you can do a connector, let's say letter A. Diba? And then in the next page, pag umpisa mo ngayon dito sa step na to, pag umpisa mo diyan, pwedeng may connector ka naman. You start with the connector letter A, signifying that yung ending point ng first page is the beginning point of your second page. So you can do that. No, you can cut a big process into chunks, no, into sub processes. So in drawing. So go over this. Okay, go over this. And I have also uploaded in your reading materials some more service blueprint examples for you to look at and study so that you can do yung assignment number 4 yata yun on service blueprint, which is due on sometime in October. For presentation yan sa October 9 yata. Okay? So please do that. So again, this slide, last na. Here. Okay. So there are more slides here, no? More examples. And then just go over the applications of blueprinting. Itong tingnan no, uses of blueprint. So sa uses of blueprint, ang focus natin kasi dito, kasi service operations management tayo So the focus is here on operations management. This is for service marketing. Okay? Service marketing ito. So ito yung use ng blueprint sa mga service marketers, sa mga HR people, no, in training front stage and backstage employees, ginagamit din nila yung service blueprint. Okay? And for incorporating digital and non-digital interactions into the service process, system technology will also make use of a service blueprint. Okay? Pero our main focus of why we are using a service blueprint is to render the services as promised in the blueprint and to manage fail points. Okay? And to use it as quality control avenue, platform for quality control and training. Okay? So these are dito tayo naka-anchor, no? Kung bakit ginagamit natin yung service blueprint. And I forgot to tell you, sorry, I'll just go over a bit. I forgot to tell you that one of the purpose is managing fail points. Ano tong fail points? Kasi nasa assignment nyo to Okay, so meron pa dito, no? So you can just go over the rest of the slide. But let me just go back here. So, example dito. Ang isa sa mga reasons why we do this blueprint is because we want to see how it's delivered from the customer's perspective. Yung experience nila, yung journey nila. Di ba? And part of the journey is to make sure that you are able to deliver the service output, which is, ano ba yung service output sa hotel? Pagkatapos mag-check-in, dapat makaakyat sila sa kwarto nila, yung mga gamit nila nasa kwarto, at makapag-relax sila. That's the bottom line, di ba? Of a hotel service. And ma-enjoy nila yung amenities ng hotel. Now, if you look at the service blueprint, kailangan makita ninyo kung may potential fail points. Okay, fail points. So for example, dito, customer action, give back bags to bell person. Last na to. Then, ang action lang ng hotel is to greet and take the bags. Di ba? Tapos nakita nyo sa process ninyo, backstage, so nakikita to ng customer, no? May bellboy na mag-greet, kukunin yung bag. Okay? Pero hindi nyo na nakikita yung process kung paano tinetrace ng backstage yung bag at dinideliver, paano dinideliver yung bag sa room. And therefore, if you see that there's a lapse here, okay, you can perhaps put a failure point here. So, yan yung sinabi ko sa assignment, no? Label nyo F1, F2. So, you can tag this step as a possible failure point. Kasi anong basis niya for taking the bags to the room? Di ba? Kasi when was the bag taken in the process? It was taken, of course, before the check-in. Di ba? So, therefore, dapat may step tayo dito. Anong step dapat, class? Sa tingin niyo? Anong kulang? So, process registration, nag-register na yung customer. Okay? So, okay na, registered na.
What room to bring it.
Oo eh. So, alin sa process ang magsasabi, anong interaction ang dapat meron sa process for the backstage personnel to know what room to take it to. Di ba? Kasi eventually, this is what you want to happen for the customers to receive the correct bags. Di ba? So therefore, in between these two steps of greeting and taking bags to room, parang there's a missing step in your delivery system. How does this registration system communicate ngayon to this backstage personnel? Para malaman niya kung yung bags na kinuha niya ay anong room. And take note kapag kinukuha nila yung bags, ang daming customers pumapasok sabay-sabay. They take it by cart and they put it in a particular place, di ba? So, asan yung tagging system? Kailangan matag nila na, okay, all of these bags belong to one person na nag-check-in. Or, itong bags na to, 2 rooms ito or 3 rooms ito. How would the system know? How would this person know? And para ma-transfer niya yung information to the person who's going to deliver the bags to the room. Di ba? Asan yung tagging system that connects the registration system na nakakaalam nung room number to the particular bags na nakuha, di ba? Kailan dapat mangyari yung tagging system na yon? Di ba? Mangyayari lang kasi yan after these two happens eh. Di ba? So therefore, paano mo ngayon isi-situate, no? Ano dapat yung step na kailangan mo? So, that's an example lang ha. I'm just giving you an example that if you look at the service process map, a service blueprint, dapat every step kikilatisin ninyo. The end goal is this, to receive the bag. Pero in the middle, in the processes, in the interactions, what are possible failure points that could happen? Of course, failure point is mali yung bag na na-receive or hindi na-receive yung bag or ang tagal bago na-receive yung bag. These are possible failure points here, di ba? So you can identify this as a failure point also. Possible failure point. And when you redesign your delivery system, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng recommendations. O, sige, maglagay tayo dito ng tagging system. Okay? Dito natin ilagay yung tagging system. Okay? So, magkakaroon ka na ng added interaction between registration and tagging. Alright? So, recommendation mo na yon. You can label that as R1, okay, to address F1. And then if this is F2, you can perhaps dito, come up with recommendation 2 to address F2 in case F2 happens. Anong service recovery step mo? If nagkamali yung pag-receive ng bag, nagkamali yung pag-deliver ng bag. Okay? So, yan yung isa sa purpose ng service blueprint, process improvement. Kaya, doon sa assignment ninyo, meron akong instruction for F1, F2, R1, R2. So, I'm asking you to create a blueprint and identify the failure points and then come up with another blueprint, another design of the delivery system to address the failure points using your recommendations, R1, R2, and so on. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for listening today. I'm 10 minutes over time. Minsan lang naman, palagi naman tayong early this term. So, pasensya na. Okay, so I'll stop recording.